Okay, but we've been talking about building this deck for a while, and I finally got it built. This is a Faithless Looting Rhinos deck, where we're using Dreadhorde Arcanist to cast Crashing Footfalls from the graveyard, and we're also using Finale of Promise to cast Crashing Footfalls from the graveyard, and we get it in the graveyard with Channeler, Rumble, FOMO, DRC, Looting. And we also have Arena of Glory and Detectives Phoenix to haste Arcanist and haste Fear of Missing Out, extra combat steps with the Rhinos, Phoenix on a Rhino. Lots of fun stuff here. Kind of similar to like the Raptor, the Raptor Bloodbraid Marauder decks we built back in the middle of like MH3 season, but now Raptor's banned, so I think you lean towards more Arcanist and Looting. Well, let's keep this hand. They are on a mulligan to 6. I haven't seen any Moonsnare builds. Kind of excited to see this card. I have a big soft spot for it, I guess. Is Marauder viable? So the problem with Marauder is we just have too many like mediocre hits. I think Marauder was good when you had like the Raptor build where you just built around like Marauder always hitting Rhinos. Yeah, I think Electro Dominance is worse than Finale because like you just always want to be discarding your Footfalls, and then it's kind of weird if you build your deck where, oh no, I'm casting Looting. I don't have Electro Dominance or Arcanist, but I could either want this in my hand or I could want it in my graveyard. But if you just play Finale instead, you just always want it in your graveyard, and you want a bunch of them in your graveyard because you have multiple ways to flash them back. I wonder what the one land hand over there. Like here, like we're gonna be able to discard the Rhinos, and we have a bunch of ways to flash it back for some value. A good chance I want to keep that one. I can dig for Arcanist maybe. Consider Flare of Duplication to increase reach with Bolt or to double Footfalls. I guess not. The thing is, we have nothing in the deck that's like good to sack the Flare. Seems like a pretty big deviation. I don't know if we'd have room. It's kind of an interesting thought. We do have a Flare of Duplication deck built for today, though. Kind of saving it for when I have less brain power. Wait, they had a land in their hand? They just drew Midnight. Where did this land come from? Okay, there's the Arcanist. Kind of am thinking that our opponent has or is a Belcher deck. Graveyard 2 lands. Thank you, Channeler. Do I keep Arena? I think I just take the second Arcanist. Just cast one this turn. I can't activate Arena with the token, so I can't haste Arcanist this turn, unfortunately. Isamaru with the 5-pack. That's so nice of you. Gotta get this stuff from Isamaru. Make sure to thank them. Happy New Year! Alright, my opponent, so Moonsnare prototype not looking amazing there. Maybe I'm skimping a little bit on Opal Hate. I think that they're a Belcher deck. I think that kind of makes sense with seeing Seagate Restoration. How good is Magebane Lizard against me? Can be okay. I think on the draw it's gonna be a little worse. I'm gonna play a couple copies of Endurance for Chi, although you know what, honestly, let's go like down to Finale. On the face gifting a sub to Worrian 95 Gaming. Let's in trouble with Gwen, Lord of Cinder. Quickly play all of Dark Souls and show me. I can do it in one sitting even. Okay, we got some stuff to flashback with Dreadhorde Arcanist. I think I'm gonna Keep this. Yeah, they're definitely like Mox Opal Belcher. We played a Mox Opal Belcher deck, and it was pretty fun. I did not have these in the deck. We'll look at our top card. If we like it, we'll bolt the Tomio on their upkeep, and if we don't like it, we will. Or sorry, we'll play Stomping Ground. And if we don't like it, we'll fetch Windswept Heath and bolt there. And an anonymous gifter with a 5-pack. Thank you, anonymous. If you got a gifted sub, there's nobody to thank, so don't worry about it. Looks like this could be a RHINO deck. Maybe. RHINO was really bad when we played it the other day. That doesn't mean they're not playing it. 2 cards in their hand. One card in their hand. They have Belcher mana next turn. People like Merfolk is in a good position are weak. Merfolk's a lot better than it's been for a long time. It's still like probably like you could probably like never beat Mardu if you queue into it, or beat Mardu like 1 out of 10 times or something. And I imagine that you're probably quite solid against like the rest of the format or the form. Interesting. Interesting question. Yeah, if you want to get that freebie Valorant gifted sub, you got till January 2nd. It's kind of crazy that promotion's going on so long. I don't really know much about Valorant. I know that it's a shooter game. I know that similar to Counter-Strike. That's about all. Played either. Yeah, so killing this just turns off. I guess it doesn't turn off the Moon Snare. They can still tap the Moon Snare, but up the open. There's an Ornithopter. I think Dingo's flying back on Friday. Black Friday. CSGO with superpowers. Hell. Be Graveyard the Bolt. I would love to like mill over Detectives Phoenix and like land to cast it. I'm gonna be flashing back a Lightning Bolt. I guess holding up a Lightning Bolt for has to build over a Looting. Holding up a Lightning Bolt for Tamashi is gonna be okay. I can also I can just flash back 2 bolts by untapping this. Oh, they're gonna this is were for Moon Snare. So let's put this on top, and then we can haste 2 Dreadhorde Arcanist next turn and flash back 3 bolts. Two from the first Arcanist and 1 from the FOMO. Thanks, Drow, for the 3 months. You might as well bolt the Ornithopter because its potential to block is worth 3 life from blocking the Channeler, and that's the Muffin mana. Dunk with the 6 months. Hope you do well. Okay. Yeah, they're dead to us hasting 2 Arcanists, untapping an Arcanist, flashing back. Okay, let's mulligan. Keep this hand. We're gonna put back Fear of Missing Out. I might not cast Looting on turn 1. I might just hold up Heat/Travail, depending on what they do. What I draw. I did like the Basim Opal deck. I want to keep working on it. We also have a mono blue build that's like cutting Basim so you can play more powerful monocolor lands. I think drawing Arena of Glory, I'm going to go ahead and loot on turn 1. Those are some interesting pickups. think I'll probably go for Rumble next turn. We'll see what we draw, but then maybe we can haste both of these on turn 3. It could be better than a Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. I don't know. I think Endurance is just kind of higher card quality. Less face up. So they're repping an Orcish Bowmaster. So we cast Rumble. They have a Spell Pierce. They have a Spell Pierce. You can flashback Rumble if you have a Phoenix on an Arcanist too. Dimir is so popular today. It's like Dimir is popular because all of the modern players with jobs, they just love to play these like grindy blue decks, and they all have today off because it's that's the vibe at least. Okay, so they exile Looting and then they miss their land drop. We played Dimir and I'm gonna play checkmate thing. I've invested. We've been snared also and pushed. Okay, 4 cards in your hand. Let's go. This play Saga package for stronger Delirium, or does that dilute it too much? I think this would be a quite bad Urza Saga deck. I don't really like Urza Saga in decks that Dude, we've been like just so had here. We could have like hasted Arcanist, Flashback, and Unholy Heat. If you're, yeah, I'll take some food, sweetie. I just whatever. I'm letting Dingo sleep because he's like I don't feel like he slept very much in the last 24 hours. I'm just gonna let him sleep in longer than he expected to. Win the polite fight. Punished for tapping the Arena of Glory. I'm still gonna cast this. Yeah, Urza Saga just kind of sucks in decks like this. Like your deck is very color intensive. You don't really want to make Saga tokens that often. When you do, the Saga tokens are not very big. What should you get for all of us? I was gonna say maybe Chipotle, but I don't know. Like Dingo doesn't eat fast food. Chipotle's not exactly fast food. Oh yeah, you could go to the. What if you went to like the Mexican grocery store and picked up some tacos? Probably fine to go to game 2. Is 3-color Arcanist in any flavor? Too many colors? I mean, you can play 3-color. Okay, so I want the extra Unholy Heats in this matchup. I'm gonna go down on the Bolts. Maybe like Bolt is just kind of not good against. Or okay to play like that and like maybe Endurance. And cook at home. Well, I thought they had some like you could just buy them there, or you could go to Taco Cabana maybe. I thought they just had like pre-made tacos there. How did you land on 20 lands to the deck? Curve seems low enough for 18, especially with so much selection, Looting, Rumble, DRC. I don't like to play 18 with Arena of Glory very often because it's just so awkward to have Arena of Glory be your only land, or you have like double Arena of Glory more often. So if I'm playing like 3 arenas, like 20 lands. I agree our curve's pretty low. We also like have flashback looting too. Follow with the 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. From Loro? I don't know what Loro is, Panda. But I don't want Esther to drive too far. And the Mexican tacos really good. Why is Bauble the Manamorphose? Well, it's an artifact for Delirium, which is pretty important in this deck. In your fear of missing out, DRC Unholy Heat deck. Okay, on the border sounds kind of good, although those are Texas tacos. Keep the Stomping Ground. I got this in. 2 Keep the stomping ground. I like drawing this Phoenix. No, we don't have like Street Wraith in this Phoenix deck. We're just kind of all like honest Phoenixing. Opponent is very good at spell piercing, spell snaring too. Master's Hand. Right on top. One of Uchi and Franklin's Barbecue in Austin did a joint about Laura. Phenomenal. That sounds great. I went to Uchi. I don't actually. Was that Uchi went to for our friend's birthday the other week, Esther? I don't know. She might be gone by now. I'll check it out. Earlier, I heard you say looting is probably the best card in Modern now, but it seems like the top cuts from tournaments are full of Dimir or Murktide or Boros. Would they be the next boogeyman? Maybe. I wouldn't. I just don't feel like the tournament results are still like that. Like you can kind of chill on them a little bit. Where like creativity is the best deck, and now creativity is falling, and then Rhinos is coming out, and now Rhinos is like really freaking good, and all of a sudden like. The metagame is evolving a lot, and so decks like Murktide and decks like Mardu that are just not going to change that much. They're going to stay. They're going to stay good, if that makes sense. Like, there's not going to really be, I think, a window of time where those are not good options. But looting is just the best card in a lot of different decks, and it has a lot of brew potential. And I also think that the looting decks are still not very solved, which adds an extra layer of me liking them. I might want to like Arena of Glory and Arcanist here. So let's tap like this. But the tournament's results, from what I can tell, and again, I honestly don't even really look very closely at them. But from what I can tell, they are still kind of all over the place. All right, well, they're good at having spell pierce, and I'm bad at leaving up mana for pierce. So let's cast a looting. Let's go to Detective's Phoenix and a Commercial District. Then let's Unholy Heat this frog. I also feel like I hear maybe one of the dogs upstairs getting into something. That also might be Dingo, I can't tell. I'll go check on that in a second. What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. They've unearthed their frog. Let's resolve this endurance now. And so they can discard their entire hand to kill my endurance next turn, and I think that would be okay. Them being hellbent to kill it. Yeah, it was a Dingo upstairs. He seems to be awake now. I told him I didn't need to tap out yet, and he can keep chilling. Probably tap out once S comes home with the food. For break number 1. What's the formula for Arcanist being good in Modern? Maybe 4 card advantage selection, minimum 4 interaction for others. You're probably overthinking it a little bit. Like the I don't think you can even like really raw numbers it like this, because it's like not only do you need the numbers or whatever, you also need flashback the looting. Like if you have looting in your deck, and if you have like a lot of like incidental ways to mill stuff over, it changes the numbers in a kind of meaningful way, and so it's just tough to like put like you need X, Y, and you're good. Yeah, we're out of surveillance, so we can just put back the land that cost us some life, and then I'm gonna go bestow Detective's Phoenix this turn instead of casting the Rumble. But I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'm gonna exile just the Rumbles and the Endurance so that I can have heat in the yard for an Arcanist. Can Vision's Dreadhorde Psychic Frog be good? I think it's unlikely, since like the main formula around Dreadhorde Arcanist being playable is you're really in on Arena of Glory, hasting your Dreadhorde Arcanists, like here. And it's pretty tough to play Arena of Glory and Psychic Frog in the same deck, but it is possible. I did think about playing Ancestral Vision in this deck, though. Card is both my Phoenix and Twinless, which I think the Phoenix deck is better. I would love to play that. I think there's a good chance I play Phoenix at the Hunter Burton this year. I tend to like to play like something a little special at those events. Coming up quick. They bounce the Endurance. I can block a frog, make them discard a card, or I could just leave this go. Let's go ahead and block. Discard a Watery Grave. They hit me for 1. Draw a card. I'm at 15. We have the 2025 Hunter Burton dates. I haven't looked. It's just been in March for the last several years, so I was assuming it just still was. I guess I haven't heard anything. Discard Looting, discard Stomping Ground. And then they know I have this Endurance, so let's just main phase it and make it a bit awkward for them to attack. It's March 14th through 16th. Cool. Remember, if you cast this in an empty hand, you get to draw. Now they get to draw 2. Finale would be such a sick draw. You get to flashback Rhinos and Unholy Heat. 3 mana. Arcanist would be really good. Unholy Heat would be pretty good. This is kind of an awkward draw, I guess. They're like a really awkward draw. I'm just going to cast this and try to put a Phoenix on it. Try not to lose my way too much. Hopefully they don't have a counter spell. You know the card Arcanum Wings. It felt like it'd be an interesting one. Interesting build around with the 2020. Okay, I don't know this card. Double haste attack angle. I feel like we're not winning that game. In response, they cling to Dust Detective's Phoenix. Then their cling gets Endurance at least. Oh, Aura Swap. You swap it from your hand. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen that card. I built around the Annihilator Aura some with the Storm Herald, and I kind of want to circle back to that with looting, but I feel like I'm a little away from that. On the play, you could easily win turn 3. I mean, not easily. You could sometimes win on turn 3. Opposite day with another 5 gifted subs. Thanks for all the gifted subs today. Happy New Year, everybody. I never thought I'd have to do this 24-hour stream. I really thought I really thought they would never unban it. And here we are. They also it wasn't that long ago they said they would never unban it too. I don't know what changed. But I'm happy. I'm really happy. Modern seems to be pretty dang solid at the moment, and happy for a good year, good 2024. Hoping for a good 2025. Seems like we can attack with the FOMO. Like this, if they want to kill it, they have to discard their last card, which I think is just like, that's okay. Why did you think they'd never reban it? They said explicitly during a BNR that they never would. And kind of also like on the other side of that, to me it had seemed really clear for years that it would have been a pretty reasonable unban. But they seemed uninterested in it for one reason or another. Like they could have pulled the trigger on it for 3 to 4 years and they just didn't. So I was like, I just didn't think it was gonna happen. I guess casting this Channeler probably isn't a good move because you just eat it with a frog. Although now if they're gonna do it like this and have 2/2/3 frogs, then I can cast the Channeler because it just gets a card out of their hand. Okay, but they're gonna block like this after all. No Veils in the sideboard. You can play Veil. You just have to know, like with these brews, the sideboards are just rarely very tuned. I guess I want to play the Channeler so I could block. Last guy with the gifted sub, thank you. Crazy theory. Wizards made these unbans to revitalize Modern and get a little more hype in instead of just banning One Ring. What do you mean crazy theory? That just is so explicitly, absolutely what happened. Crazy theory. Magic players are so funny. They're like, Spike Wizards is for sure. They're intentionally killing Modern to buff Standard. Also, I think maybe. What do you think about? I think I keep the discard the Bauble. This in the Bauble actually. What do you think? Do you think that they maybe did this to make the format more interesting? Yes, that is 100%. Of course, absolutely what happened. Exile Endurance, Exile Rumble, Exile Heat. Or there's a Satire. Yeah, it's just kind of tough with Magic players sometimes. But yeah, that could have easily been Satire. Another Rhinos in the yard. Cycles an Unearth in response. Opponent is a thinker. So I had no blocks. They showed us Thoughtseize, so I'm not going to Bauble on my turn. Drawing just a Mire. Their 3/4 Frog is going to be a pretty good attacker at this point, although if they sit in with that, I can just sit in with both and make them... I guess they could discard both cards and have their Frog bounce off my Endurance. Is Value Breach good in this build? I would be kind of surprised. They played the Mire. Why would they play Mire? That could have been a +1 counter, my friend. Ah, that's why. I still have a Looting in the yard. I have a card from the Bauble. They have 2 new cards in their hand. Unfortunately, it looks like they have an Oculus, which is going to be pretty tough to beat. Maybe not that tough. Like they probably have to block the Channeler, then we have the Phoenix back. So we go discard. Discard. Stow. Exile Endurance. Channeler. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Gonna keep that, I guess. It's just like a free cantrip, basically. Suspend. Not that I necessarily think suspending is gonna come up here, but get in. They have to block. Oh no. Sorry. For some reason I was thinking that the Phoenixes would still die. Tough match. Thinking that the Phoenixes would be back on defense after the death. Okay, let's keep this. Probably put back the Finale. Rix's take on looting control. Somewhat motivated by not wanting to spend $200 of force. Well, if you're going to play Faithless Looting control, like, you have to play Flate. Non-negotiable. I see you have Prized Amalgam and Sneaky Snacker. Ancient Event's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem as good. I see you just want to play Flare instead of Force. I've tried decks like this. Whoa, we graveyard the Footfalls. Let's go. Let's go, dude. That's exciting. I noticed Finale promise over Electro Dominance. Electro allows you to flash out creatures outside of your Rhinos. Finale is a lot better, I think. Where it's like with Finale, you know you want the Rhinos in the graveyard. You know, you have your Rumbles, you have your Channeler Surveils, you have your FOMO discards. With Finale over Electro Dominance, you know you always want it in the yard. With Finale, you can also flash back a Bolt or a Heat sometimes too, and like get a 2-for-1. But with Electro Dominance, you're like, okay, do I want this in my hand if I draw Electro Dominance, or do I want it in the yard for Arcanist? It's like that dynamic seems really bad. Bestow a Phoenix. If you're gonna play Looting Control, you have to play Force Flage. Flage. Like that's like it's just much better than like these black creatures. Oh, well, your deck idea is cool. Maybe something fun to test out. Just doesn't seem like the best direction to go. I'm sure it was nice to meet you too, Adam. I think I've looked at too many. We'll pause on the decks for now. This is the problem with looking at one, and it's just like it's just nonstop deck techs, which is not something I really want to do. We can graveyard this, and then we can maybe flash it back with Arcanist. We could also go Bolt, flashback, Bolt, maybe. Okay, I'll look at since your first time chatter, Adam. First time chatter, but not been watching. I think Grazer is pretty bad when you curve out at 3. We played this deck recently, or a deck like this, and I do not recommend Grazer. This was my take on the deck. I'm a big Ruination Rider fan in this archetype. That's how I build Seismic Assault. Okay, so my opponent is at 14. Now they're at 11. Remember people were saying Flage should cost 2 mana? Like, who was saying that? I've heard a lot of people say that. Who was it? Heal yourselves. All right. Heats and endurances in. This Bolt's just not good against them. Kind of like the same matchup. A few people on Twitter, yeah. It's usually like one like tweet with 2 likes, and people are like, ah. And fair enough. Let's try this. Up a game. All right, keep this. Might pitch the Crashing Footfalls to Endurance. There's maybe a timeline where I suspend on turn 1. It's probably unlikely. Okay, yeah, maybe when I wake up tomorrow morning and we close the stream out after like Dingo takes the night shift, I'll wake up at like 8. I'll do the last hour with Dingo. We'll just do a bunch of deck techs. I don't think Flage compares to Uro. I mean, they're different. Like, I guess that's a bad answer, huh? So like, Flage is pretty interesting because like there's this like Mardu / Boros shell that exists around it, and if you know, without Guide of Souls and Raptor and like the shell, like it would be like when Flage came out, like one of my big things about like I was thinking about it was that this card is really good, but could there be a red-white deck that's good in Modern? Because pre-MH3, no, there were not good red-white base decks in Modern, just kind of period. Okay, so if they have... Yeah, I think I just need to Endurance now, even though it leaves the Bolt in the yard. It's just too risky if they have a non-fetch land for the Phoenix. So, but as far as Uro versus Flage go, I think that I still think Uro is better than Flage. I think if it was printed in Modern, Uro would be the best card advantage spell in the format, period. I think that Uro, while not good with like the Mardu cards, would be good with a whole different set of cards. Rumble, Fanatic of Rhonas, Consigned to Memory, Shifting Woodland are a few that come to mind, and I'm sure there's a lot more too. Like just like you just main deck consign, you control deck consigning your Uro is like I think more powerful than consigning your Flage because you can do it on turn 3. You get to go put the land into play, consign. I think that dynamic is a really big deal. Your opponent is holding up counter spells against you in your Uro deck. You're just shifting within your Uro attack. It's like you can go Fanatic Veronis on turn 2, play your Uro, tap Fanatic for 4. There's and Rumble to like dig mill over your Uro, grab a different card. So it would be I think Uro would be like disgustingly good if it was legal in modern. And I think it would play probably like not very much like Flage. Probably going to game 3. We could top deck it under. Endurance would very good on this board. Uro's also like just a truly miserable card, and I hope it never gets unbanned. You know, one thing also about Uro is it's like Uro isn't bad against any deck. Like Uro is just like a ramp card draw spell. I'm like, this is not something that's super weak in any matchup. Flage can be like if you're playing against like Belcher, if you're playing against Titan, if you're playing against like Tron, like it's just like like it's so slow and like it doesn't make you proactive at all. Like against Tron, you can go like Uro, put a land into play, hold up a consign, or consign your Dream. Is Enduring Curiosity a card worth experimenting with? I think that card's unplayable, but I could be wrong. I know some people like it. This does shrink the Nether Goy. Probably gonna have to go to game. Goes up to me, whatever, print another Titan. Maybe. Is Zero without the ramp part still busted? I don't know. Is Luris without the companion part still busted? Who cares? You don't usually love these questions. All right, looking for endurance. Card would stabilize. I guess we could draw endurance off of the FOMO. But I'd have to discard the Heath and pitch the Footfalls. I would want to flash back the Footfalls with the Arcanist. I can't draw anything else, so Heat. Oh yeah, don't have to Leer either. Anyways, okay, game 3. Yeah, but like this is a good point, Karen. It's just Uro was a incredibly miserable card when it was legal. It would be incredibly miserable if it was unbanned. It was like I preferred even the One Ring being the card advantage engine to Uro because like Uro is like doesn't care about Bowmaster. Uro doesn't care about counter spells. It just doesn't care about anything. Crazy. On the play. Weird hand. I really hope I get Burning and Creed. I guess that kind of means the hand's not great. I think it is very good if they inquiry and I like get Delirium, you know. I can pitch this to Endurance and they're on a mold of 5. We talked about Dark Depths already. I don't know. I'm not the most interested in the like. I don't. Who is interested in like? All right, let's talk about unbans, y'all. Let's talk about unbanning stuff. I know it's like something that can happen, but for me, I'm just mostly like, we have so much to work with. We have so much that's interesting. It's not, I think, that interesting to fixate on what could be. I think we should focus on. Okay, so they found their land after mulliganing to a 0 land Leyline 5-carder. Not to say Flage is better than Uro, but yeah, Flage is very good. And Flage is very good with Arena of Glory. Absolutely. What is Footfalls doing this deck? We're trying to flash it back with Dreadhorde Arcanist and Finale of Promise. Dingo's upstairs. He's still kind of chilling. We will be together hanging out for a big part of today. But, you know, the whole idea behind Dingo being here is so that we can take breaks. And that we don't have to just raw dog the full 24 hours. Although Dingo is capable of it. Dingo's also doing a subathon starting Monday, which is gonna be crazy. I don't get why Flage is good. But we don't see Kroxa Arena. You know what? Kroxa Arena is also pretty good. And I am actually wanting to play some more Rakdos. We did pretty well with our Rakdos deck. 3MH3. Like Arena Kroxa is good. And there's looting and stuff, and there's and like Nethergoyf is like a really good black card. And so I do want to play that kind of deck too, but also be quite weak to Graveyard Cape. Dude, they found another land? Well, you've got Leyline, I've got Endurance. I'm pretty sure Hollow unless we're running Arena Kroxa. I mean, we've played Arena Kroxa and Hollow 1. I don't know how. I don't know if other people have been. Someone has. It was good. It was good in that deck. I've also played Flage and Hollow 1. Definitely something you can do. They have another Bolt. They do have another Bolt. Down to only one card in their hand. We have a Footfalls coming off suspend in 2 turns. Okay, with that Detective's Phoenix in the yard, let's go ahead and hold up this Endurance here. All right, 2 and 1. Can someone explain the difference between Death and Taxes, Mono White Midrange, and Stoneblade? Yeah, let me know if you find out, because I ask the same question all the time. None of the decks are like popular enough to like really have that differential, I think. Yeah, it's just like whoever built the deck, they just get to pick what to name it, I guess. Yeah, with this Rumble and the ability to go like DRC into Rumble, mill some stuff over. Let's play the Arcanist. Maybe we can flash back a Bolt if we don't find a Footfalls. I will say the Death and Taxes players are typically the meanest, the meanest people online. At least no group of Magic players have ever been meaner to me than the Death and Taxes Coalition. After I insulted Umazawa's Jitte and said it would be bad in Modern. Which I stand by. That Saga's gonna be pretty tough to beat. Like, yeah, I can't talk about the Scales players, but they did sue me, so yeah, maybe it's them. More value off the DRC. How big would this construct be? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we can find an Unholy Heat or two, okay, shape. Summon to hand. Oh, but now they have every Bauble going. It's like weirdly such a great top deck. Scales is still a good deck. Scales is probably somewhat playable. All right. That's a 7/7 construct, right? 4, 5, 6, 8. Cooked. Cooked. Last time we played this matchup, we beat them pretty. Or did we lose to this matchup? Not sure. We probably need some Ancient Grudges. Let's bring in the extra cheap burn spells. I think I might just cut the... I want to play one Finale. Let's play one Finale, Yolnus Phoenix. Seems okay. I do have some weird stuff planned for the late hours. Yeah, I don't know if Blood Moon is like the move. Actually, I kind of like the Moons more than the Phoenixes on the play. Phoenix just seems a little weird against them. Will Dingo be playing all of his own brews? Do you guys have any bombshell deck plans? Well, I built 6... Oh, dang it. Sorry. I built 6 new decks. This is one of them. Dingo's kind of got his own stuff planned. I'm just going to let him play what he wants to play and then eat some lunch, and then I'll be back and we'll play some stuff together. And then we'll celebrate the new year after midnight, and then he's going to take the night shift. And then I'll wake up in the morning and we'll finish up the 24 hours together. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do any drinking. Esther's getting some non-alcoholic cider, but I drink on Friday night and I drink Sunday night for the charity stream, so it's a bit much for me. Get the Bolt the Emery. Yeah, I used to be able to hang, no longer. Yeah, the days of tequila streaming are long since past us. Yeah, this is actually a big deal that this is in the yard, the Shadow Spear. Am I locked into my deck for Atlanta? No, I know that tournament sure is this weekend. I have not picked a deck. My plan is to like tomorrow evening, after I rest from the 24-hour stream, just off stream, do a little bit of standard, and then pick. What could go wrong? If you answered nothing, that sounds fine, right? Oh yeah, when are deck lists due? That is a great question. Worst because Moon. I didn't actually bring in the Moons. I kept the Phoenixes in last second. I might bring them in for game 3. We'll see. Friday at 6. That's so early. The hell? Who could be expected to have a deck ready by then? Alright, so cast Lightning Bolt, cast Crashing Footfalls. I'm gonna kill the mid-mine, I think, instead of going face. 2 4/4s. Would currency... Yeah, currency converter would be good, I think. We're gonna crash in. We'll see what they do. Oh. Like it's a 1 mana rock that like it like taps for a mana a lot of times. Just tap, make a treasure is pretty good, and make a free 2/2 is pretty good. I think the card would be strong. Will I post somewhere how the tournament's going? Maybe. I've kind of enjoyed being like mostly off the apps where you post. Doesn't mean I see. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I can bestow Detective's Phoenix, but doing so I lose Delirium. Yeah, I think we just hope they don't have an artifact, which seems unlikely. Seems less than likely. I can't bestow, right? Yeah, I almost can. Wait, I can. I can exile Finale, Rumble, and leave the FOMO and the Bolt in the yard. So that means that's 12 plus 4. It's just more damage this turn. Like we're still just dead to an artifact. Which is, you know, again, a bad place to be against the Affinity deck. remember someone the other day said that they had felt like Kappa Cannoneer was mid in every deck they played it in, which certainly has not been my experience. I guess I wonder what hand they could have that we okay. Have to be like 3 force negations or something. Okay, let's finish this one up. I think God Pharaoh's statue could be good with Shape Anew. Well, we've shaped a new God Pharaoh's gift into play. We did pretty well with that pre-shake up. I haven't circled back to it because it didn't get any of the unbanned cards, but that deck was pretty solid and pretty fun. Trying to like Shape Anew it into. I'm just gonna. As far as God Pharaoh's statue goes, I've always wanted the Shape Anew. I'm going to be quite honest to you, but I think that would be good if it wasn't legendary and you could get multiples in play. You know what I mean? Like if you could stack, but it's legendary, so I think it just might work. Looting Opal Engineer. What about Looting Opal Engineer? Is it a Thopter Sword deck? I'm not super enthused about Thopter Sword probably. Okay. Not spell pierced yet. Let's go. Yeah, I have kind of like stared a little bit at my old crime novelist builds. Kind of looked into a little bit. Not really getting very far. Looking, I don't want to flashback looting into a possible bolt. It could just be okay. Like, what's the problem? They get 3 pings. They have a 3/3 that I can just bolt next turn. Okay, well, Cash treasure deck with looting rid of the big stuff. Yeah, this is the problem with like the shell exists to keep big artifacts into play in modern with Crash for Treasure and Shape Anew. The core of this deck exists. In practice, though, like there isn't anything good to put into play. It's like the portal that makes them sack 3 creatures. You know, that's like the best thing. God Pharaoh's gift, which can be okay, but there just isn't anything that's particularly win the game like an Archon of Cruelty on the wall. That's a ukulele. Esther's music. Maybe Citadel's good. I've tried Citadel some. It could be better now that Opal's something to keep for wonder looting. The start of a thought for sure. Well, I've looked at Rectum Anvil. I have not liked. Okay. Would an artifact attraction be good enough? Yeah, for sure. Like Goryo's Atraxas, like that's a game-winning plan. Yeah, Arcanist is just like it's just a different card with Arena of Glory. Just a different card than it used to be. Soren can win. You have a bunch of Sorens and Children of Corliss in your deck that's already kind of clunky. So much Demir today. Pretty big frog. Reset the interface, hopefully. Stops cutting in and out or whatever is happening. Looking for an Unholy Heat in the top 8 cards. There's a Detective's Phoenix, which some work too. I guess is it better for me to... Yeah, I guess it's actually just right for me to haste the Arcanist with the Phoenix. I can imprint... Oh, I don't actually have enough cards to exile. Never mind. Never mind then. Let's get ready to rumble. Build a lot of lands here. And I also have not milled over any 1-mana flashbackable spells. I'm going to take the FOMO. And then I'm going to bestow Phoenix on this one, I think. Exile Finale, Looting, Channeler, Rumble. And then I can flashback Rumble. And if my opponent discards their entire hand to kill the Arcanist, that's fine with me. And oh yeah, sorry, I just flashbacked the... I forgot it was there. That one's a bit better, huh? That's the whole point of the deck. Okay, third time playing this matchup. Did we beat them both times? I can't remember. Already entering 24-hour stream madness. Cutting the bolts. I think I was only bringing in 2 endurance earlier. That's probably okay. I don't think that the Mirror decks are playing a lot of sweepers right now. In the past, they've played like Glistening Deluge, but that's like just for the Boros matchup. The Mold 6. I thought you'd play the 2-mana Delirium Cascade. Well, I like that back in the Raptor build. I don't really like it so much when you can hit like Mishra's Bauble, Faithless Looting. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I've played it in these kind of decks before and not liked it. Cauldron Nexus is becoming good enough to Cheeto shape a new. They aren't. They aren't. I've thought about that. Cauldron definitely not. Nexus is better, but neither are good. Looted. Just to draw 2. Big deal. Uh-oh, there's a Harbinger of the Seas in the graveyard over there. Kind of a bold card to play, but it may pay off very well for them here. They're on the play after all. Turn 2 Harbinger would be so gross. Went into main phase the Bauble because of Bowmaster. Okay, I don't have a red fetch still, so let's get ready to rumble, I suppose, instead of going DRC looting into Bowmaster. There's a Footfalls in the yard for the Dreadhorde Arcanist, so we can haste it next turn. And then I still like a main phase Bauble Crack, because I would love for my opponent to... Well, I guess they would just play it on right now. Oh, maybe don't? Yeah, I'll do it on their turn, because I would love for them to like upkeep it. Although now I could Bauble, and I'd love for it... Now they could just play... They can't play it now, so they can play it on there. Pivoting back. My opponent has just graveyarded a Psychic. So does that mean they have maybe Harbinger in hand and they're just dying for land number 3? There's the red sword. Okay, it's Oculus instead. We don't have an Unholy Heat. I'm glad it's this and not Harbinger, because I couldn't beat the Harbinger. So I think I go grab Mountain. Yeah, let's haste the Channeler, because I'm gonna haste also the Dreadhorde Arcanist. And they won't be able to block and kill both. And then we're kind of looking for an Unholy Heat to flashback with the Arcanist, and then we'll settle for Rhinos if we don't find it. Discard Rhinos, discard... What district? Yeah, I'm not sure about the overall matchup spread. This is just a fresh brew for our 24-hour stream. I do think Leyline Rhinos is better than non, but it's this is a tale as old as time. It's a Leyline and to not Leyline, but I'm pretty heavily in the Leyline camp, I guess. Yeah, no Unholy Heats in the top 23, and we get our Rhinos Force of Negation, so we may have to go to game 3 here. May have to go to game 3. They didn't block the Arcanist. Yeah, it seems like they don't respect it as much as the Channeler. They also manifested a frog. So I think I want to try going Bestow Phoenix, Exile Phoenix, Looting, Channeler Looting. This way I can flashback Rumble with the Arcanist, and then I can try also just finaleing a Footfalls, potentially. Unless I maybe Rumble into something else to cast this turn. Let's go to game 3. Oh, they didn't block with a 2/2, I see. Okay, game 3 on the play. I don't think I could just like try to fetch basics, seeing that they have Harbinger in. It looks like they did not bring the Harbingers out, notably. We'll just try to fetch basics. This is a hand that we have to keep that can't fetch basics, but we can't really click the mulligan button with this one. When do you think we'll have a good idea of whether stuff is working? We have a super qualifier, which could be people playing odd type decks. I mean, we have an idea of how good things are. We just don't have a complete picture. You know what I mean? Yeah, mono green Eldrazi sounds like it could be fun to farm. Farm the Demir gamers. I wanted to also play the Magus of the Candelabra Eldrazi deck. I wanted to update that post Ring, and I haven't done that. We could do that on stream today. I did like that Sultai Intruder Alarm deck. No one's ever messaged me saying they liked the deck before. like that one before. Okay, I guess we keep that on top. This Craterhoof Behemoth seems kind of ambitious. I guess you, in theory, can make infinite mana for it. People just love to play Craterhoof in their modern decks. Looks pretty cool though. It's the combo with Sprout Storm Intruder Alarm makes infinite tokens. But I think like having a Craterhoof so that if you also have a Mana Dork, a Dreadhorde or Hierarch to like win the game immediately, I don't know. I don't know if that helps you or hurts you. That's me saying. I actually don't know. This is not me like trying to be nice, which I would never do. Do people want to play Oculus before All Access runs out? Yeah, that might be a part of it. I think that's a good guess. No, the other team won. Tried really hard. Seems to better in the end. I'm kind of scared of Bowmaster, but I'm going to try hasting the Arcanist and flashback the looting. I have a scolding. But now I could bestow Detective's Phoenix. I would lose Delirium. Yeah, it seems like being able to maybe flashback looting and then finale the Footfalls next turn is going to be better. Also loot away the Phoenix for value. I really wish all access became permanent. Yeah, I mean, me too. This is always the best time. It doesn't seem like there's like a really clean way to just have all access all the time. Maybe. Okay, I think stopping them from casting an Oculus or a Murktide this turn is going to take priority for me. Infectioner took Scurry Oak Rosy Cotton deck is too ambitious. It sounds bad, as it would be the word I'd use. Unfortunately, the problem with building your deck that way is that you're a creature combo deck that isn't Broodskale or Yawgmoth, and you're just a weaker creature combo deck. You think NT plus Wraith could be good? Yeah, you could play NT Wraith. Not a ton of room. If looking for red black with Opal, I I want this deck to be good. Like I keep building the decks. I didn't have the blue splash for Gear Drake. I keep building this deck and I just feel like it looks so bad. I just don't know how to not feel like that when it comes to Anvil. Is that possible? Play Anvil and not feel like the deck is just ever. I don't know. Have you played this, Simon? It just seems so slow. I love these decks back in the day, but they were really just never good post Luris. And even pre Luris, where I know we trophied a couple times. Scour themselves in response. They don't mill over a unearthable creature though. There's an Unholy Heat. Definitely interested in keeping that, especially because I've got the finale. I can go finale plus flashback, Heat plus Rumble. We'll see if my opponent discards their entire hand. Oh no, 4 cards to block the chance. Just have a subscription service for all access like computers. Maybe it's just weird with the like rest of the Magic Online economy. It's just not exactly clear how that would affect thing. This is of course the kind of stuff I don't usually like to care about that much, but there are a lot of people not clear how it would affect. They discard a lot of cards. Thanks, Miria. Welcome, welcome. Happy New Year's. No, don't Thoughtseize me. Okay. That's not good either. Them to play their last card so badly. Kill both their creatures. How do I get them to Growing Unholy Heat? I guess I just can't. I guess I just have to go like your frog, make you discard your last card so they can't counterspell my finale. Finale the Heat Rumble, and then you got a 6/7 frog in play. We'll figure it out. There's no chance this manifests as a creature, right? Or is it better to kill the frog? Yeah, let's kill the frog. Because we're just never beating the 6/7 frog unless we kill it this turn. We can grab a FOMO, which cantrips next turn. I mean, the Oculus is also going to be very good. I might need that mana. Hopefully it's not a frog. Yeah, Oculus is pretty crazy, huh? I was way too low on it during spoiler season. I just hate 3-mana creatures. Okay, okay, well, I guess it's not so awkward that I have another copy of this now. Is there any way I ever end up hasting? I actually need this token back to be able to block too. Okay, another fear of missing out. I don't have enough to bestow both Phoenixes and keep Delirium. Oh, there's only one Phoenix. I thought there were 2. Okay, so I can exile FOMO, Finale, DRC, Looting. I can attack my opponent for 8. And I can leave this spawn back to try to block a 2/2. If my opponent has manifested another Oculus, we die. But cowards can't block warriors. Cowards can't block warriors. All right, 2/3. That's fine. I think I'm not tapping out yet.